To begin installation of your K&N 63-3065 air intake system, turn off the vehicle's ignition and disconnect the negative battery cable. Depress the locking clamp on the mass air sensor electrical connection. Separate the mass air sensor electrical connection. Depress the locking ring on the air pump fresh air inlet tube. Disconnect the fresh air inlet tube from the upper air box. Loosen the hose clamp that secures the stock intake tube to the intake resonator. Loosen the retaining nut and the two air box retaining bolts. The 2008 and later vehicles are not equipped with the mounting nut. All other vehicles will reuse the nut in a later step. Lift the air box up and remove it from the vehicle. K&N recommends that customers do not discard their factory air box. Next, install the silicone hose part number 08630 onto the intake plenum and secure it with the provided hose clamp. Install the L bracket onto the heat shield with the provided hardware as shown. Next, install the small L bracket part number 070602 onto the heat shield using the provided hardware and spacer. The spacer should be placed between the bracket and the heat shield. Install the long edge trim onto the heat shield. Some trimming of the edge trim may be necessary. Next, install the small edge trim into the heat shield hole, trimming any excess edge trim. Install the provided adapter into the small heat shield hole. Install the provided air pump filter onto the adapter installed in the previous step and secure it with a hose clamp. On vehicles not equipped with the airbox mounting stud and nut, drill out the existing hole in the inner fender with a 1/2 inch drill bit. Then install the provided insert nut into the drilled hole. Install the heat shield into the vehicle and secure with the provided hardware. On vehicles equipped with the airbox mounting stud, the factory nut will be reused. Secure the air pump fresh air tube to the adapter. Install the tube mounting bracket part number 06495 onto the cylinder head. Install the provided gasket onto the mass air sensor adapter. Remove the mass air sensor from the vehicle. Install the mass air sensor into the K&N mass air sensor adapter. Secure it with the provided hardware. Install the mass air sensor assembly into the K&N intake tube and secure it with the provided hardware. The opening in the mass air sensor must face toward the air filter end of the intake tube. Install the K&N intake tube into the silicone hose at the throttle body and align it with the tube mounting bracket installed in step 16. Secure it with the provided hardware and hose clamp. Install the air filter adapter into the K&N air filter and secure it with the provided hose clamp. Install silicone hose part number 08630 onto the air filter adapter and secure with the provided hose clamp. Install the air filter assembly onto the K&N intake tube and secure it with the provided hose clamp. Reconnect the mass air sensor electrical connection. Next, reconnect the negative battery cable. Check to ensure everything is tight and properly positioned before starting the vehicle. After 100 miles of driving, check the nuts and bolts and retighten if necessary.